Virgo, hi. We're going to do a general love reading today. I'm using the Llewellyn deck, and it may not resonate for everyone as it is a general reading. If it does resonate for you, however, I am doing an extended reading, and the information for that is in the box below. Also, I'm doing I'm taking personal readings again right now, so the information for that's also in the box below. All right, Virgo. I'm going to be using the Celtic cross layout. We'll see where this goes. Remembering that not every, when I say I'm doing a general love reading, it may not be related to romance, but it is always related to love. Okie doke. Let's check this out. Okay, Virgo. So for the guide card we've got from the universe right now, we've got the Eight of Cups. So I'm just going to draw a clarifier on that and see what we get. The Ace of Wands. So I kind of feel like there's an intuitively you're getting it. This is sort of a guidepost, so it's taking you, what's happening right now is kind of leading you to maybe thinking that you're going to be leaving something behind, because in order to follow what you feel is your new path, and I can see that because you've got the universe here as the end of a cycle. So kind of feeling like where your new path is, it's going to require you to leave something behind in order to follow it. So I see movement happening, and not just yet maybe, but I can see it coming to leave something behind. In an energy that's above you now, you've got the Two of Cups, and I'm just going to draw a couple cards on that. So the Strength card, the Two of Cups, it's a kind of like a choice that you'll be making, and it's a choice that's based on kind of following your heart and following something. It could even be partnership, but I kind of don't get that feeling here with what's going on with the other cards. I think it's more of a choice because right now what's above you now, as I say, kind of because the Ace of Wands is showing up here, so Strength card and the Seven of Cups are on there too. So I kind of feel like there's a choice that you're feeling that you'll be making, because it looks like there's a new cycle that's beginning, and everything feels like it's up for grabs right now with Seven of Cups. Like it's kind of confusing, because it's kind of confusing and kind of okay at the same time, because even though it affects every area of your life from what I can see here with the Seven of Cups, it's more of an infusion of a heart energy into it. So it's kind of a bit of a wake up, a renewal here with this Ace of Wands, and you moving on and moving more and more towards it. And then the Strength card coming in around feeling strong enough to deal with worldly things, and therefore being able to make some decisions and choices about kind of the more heart-centered things. You're showing up as the Queen of Wands in the immediate past, and the Five of Cups. So something that you did let go of, and that you and it was important for you to let go of, because it no longer served its kind of purpose in terms of you now being on, you moving towards this new path that's opening up with you as the Queen of Wands. So feeling much more kind of directed to the path, and I can kind of see that too on you now, because you've got the Hermit and the Ten of Cups. So I think you've done a fair amount of work in terms of searching, soul searching, trying to kind of figure out where you're at, get your bearings sort of, and kind of get some idea where your path, this new path, is going to lead you. So sort of trying to light it up, even though, and this is done, kind of alone, because you have to really go within to your own counsel to see where you can kind of see this path going. And then you got the Ten of Cups below. So it feels to me like you're looking for how to get to a place where there's more, where love is in your life, and creativity and flow, and nourishment and nurturing. And with that Ten of Cups, that's how it kind of feels like you're looking for a way to get to that path. Because you've got the Seven of Swords below, and it feels like you just come in from the war. You just come in from a war zone. And you're kind of moving beyond it now, and you're not sure where it's going, and you're still feeling a little bit kind of defensive, because that kind of defensive doesn't go away right away. But even though the battle is kind of ended, it's kind of like, where do I go now, kind of thing, right? And then you've got the devil over that. So, still, I don't know, coming to terms with what's real and what's not real. And this is the base of the reading. And that makes sense because you've got the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Swords showing up in your immediate future. So doing a lot of thinking, almost craziness in a way with the Nine of Swords, like a lot of anxiety and overthinking and trying to figure this whole thing out, because it looks like a big transition is happening. Well, it is, because as I say, I can see it guiding towards the Ace of Wands. So just trying to sort through some of the chaos and some of the residual energies from, where you're coming from, as I say, leaving it behind, and where you might be going to, and trying to get to the truth and to the bottom of things in a way. And I'm not sure that's going to be that successful that way, but you've got the Emperor showing up here. So kind of trying to use your wisdom and your knowledge to figure this out and guide you. And we'll see where that goes. You've got the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Cups there too. So, during this kind of anxiety and thinking and figuring things out, we've got the Six of Cups and the Three of Pentacles showing up, and the Hierophant. So looking for that place that is right for you, where you kind of feel harmonious, and where you feel like, going back to something that you felt clearer about before all this anxiety and before, this new path started opening up for you. So maybe going back to when you were a child and kind of, revisiting what worked then, what was true for you then, how did you kind of see where you were going, where you could kind of work together, with your own, who were your friends, who were your people then, like how did you connect to that? Because that Hierophant is really guiding this now. So I think it's really this kind of inner search that's showing up with the Hermit and the Nine of Swords and the Emperor for that matter. Now the Emperor could be somebody in your life too. I'm just going to draw something here because you've got the Fourth Cup showing up here. So once again, trying to kind of discern the difference between, the difference between an old belief system and a new belief system, and looking for the true you. And that's why going back, as I said, to when, you were a child and you felt more in tune with who you were, and therefore there was more harmony around you, and kind of going back to finding that truth. And with the Emperor, like looking at the Fourth Cup, which is kind of, what is love? I think that's the big question here. Like, what is love? It doesn't seem like it's what I thought it was. And now I'm kind of feeling like it's something that's much more concrete and less kind of whimsical. And do I have to make, not always having to make decisions and choices. I don't know, there's like a lot going on here because the Three of Swords is showing up there. So clearly this is the end of a really serious heartbreak situation, where you're now contemplating, how do I ever re-enter into this? How do I take the risk to go back and start this new path and leave everything behind and make some decisions when everything seems like overwhelming for me right now? Not only because there's so much up for grabs in terms of change, but also, just really kind of doing, so much soul searching and thinking. And then the Page of Wands is showing up, and that's a bit of a relief, although it's with the Two of Swords. So it's kind of like, okay, this is a messenger card, the Page of Wands, and just kind of waiting, reading, patiently with no agenda in mind as to what message is. You feel like there's some kind of message coming and waiting to hear what that might be before you make some decisions. Because remember I said above you, and now you've got the Two of Swords. So clearly having to make some decisions. At least you're feeling like you're having to make some decisions. And I think it, may be about love because you got the Two of Cups there. Then you also have the Two of Swords. So learning how do you, trusting your intuition in these areas too, as you now kind of this is in your subconscious, so kind of waiting for something to unfold and show itself. And you've got the Five of Swords around you, so it feels like if I'm going to build something new, because you've got the Ten of Wands showing up there, I need to not keep pushing things away and not be defensive and not keep walking away from things. Somehow I need to stop fighting and being defensive so that I can actually take all of, the growth and stuff and actually put down roots somewhere in my life where I feel like I'm building something new. And you've got the moon in a place of, hopes and desires, really wanting to kind of know more about yourself. It's kind of like the moon is showing up there and going into kind of the unknown kind of crevices of, your emotions, kind of like the Hermit again. And, so I see kind of different ways that you're looking at how to kind of find some, some message, some evidence, some knowing of where, where do you go next now that you kind of feeling a bit like you've healed a bit from this broken heart, and, looking at, kind of trying to figure out, okay, what is this all about? What has happened here? What is love? So, it's kind of a weird time for you. And it makes sense because it's the end of a cycle. So this feels like the beginning of a new cycle coming. And so it's kind of a culmination of things, a chance to assess, a chance to look at where you've come from, where you might be going, and all that stuff. And that's why I say you've got the Seven of Cups. Like, there's so much new stuff out there that is all coming into your horizon right now. All right, and that feeling like you're going to have to, you're going to be leaving where you are and following something new. So, but not yet knowing, not having the clarity as to where that is. So if this does resonate for you, and I said I will be doing a extended reading, and we'll take a look at the end of this cycle. Let's take a look and see what's coming next, because I usually when a cycle ends, it starts to show, the next part of it, like who's coming, what's coming, because it looks like there's a lot of process going on here, a lot of searching. All right, I'm just going to draw a card from the Oracle deck, and which is the Wisdom of Avalon, and I've got the Raven here. And this is about magic, coincidence, and synchronistic events. And remember back here where we had the Page of Wands, and I said just kind of waiting for signs to show themselves, because there is some choices that you feel like you're making right now. And, hoping that you can kind of get some clue as to which way to go, And so I kind of see that this is what this is about, synchronistic events and signs, coincidence. All right. I hope that's helpful for you, Virgo. And I'll see you in a week if I don't see you in the extended.